Alright, 7th graders, today we're going to talk about finding the volume of a cylinder. And you find the volume of a cylinder the exact same way you find the volume of a prism. So to find the volume of a cylinder, you find the area of the base and multiply by the height. And in this case, the area of the base is going to be a circle, so pi r squared times the height. This makes these problems really, really simple. So if you take a look at number 1, the diameter is 12, so the radius is 6. So the area of the circle will be pi times radius squared, or pi times 6 squared. Which is 113.04. And then I multiply by the height, which is 5. And I get 565.2 centimeters squared. And we are rounding to the nearest tenth. So let's try the second one. I can do this all in one calculator move. So I would do pi times 4 squared times the height. So 3.14 times 4 times 4 times 10 gives me 502.4 inches squared. On the next step, I'm giving you the volume, and you're telling me the height. This cylinder didn't copy very well, but so we're finding out what the height is. And so on this first one, the way that I would solve these is I would say, okay, I know that the volume is pi times radius squared times the height. I know the volume is 84, so I can fill that in. I'm going to change pi to 3.14. I know that the radius, the diameter is 6, so the radius is 3. And 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. So now if I'm trying to find h, I can just divide out 3.14 and 9. So 3.14 times 9 is 28.26. So if I divide by 28.26, it takes care of both of those. And so I get a height of 2.972399151, and I'm rounding to the nearest whole number, so that would be a height of 3 inches. Let's try the next one. If the volume is 650, I know that I find the volume by doing pi times radius squared times height. So I fill in my 650 for my volume. 3.14 here. The diameter is 8, so the radius is 4. 4 squared is 16. So 3.14 times 16 gives me 50.24. So if I divide by 50.24, I get a height of 12.93789809. So rounded to the nearest whole number would be a height of 13 centimeters. Okay, turn your paper over. Question number 5 is just kind of a thinking question. What happens to the volume of a cylinder if you double the radius? And if you ever see problems like that on a test or on the EOG, my best recommendation for you is to go ahead and come up with a pretend situation, and I think you'll see the pattern. So, if we have our first cylinder and it has a radius of, let's say, 5 and a height of 5, I want to double the radius, so this cylinder would have a radius of 10 and a height of 5. So if I find each of the volumes, 3.14 times 5 squared times 5, and 3.14 times 10 squared times 5, let's see what we get. For our first one, we get 392.5. For our second one, we get 1,570. So to figure out what happens to get from here to here, I'm going to do 1570 divided by 392.5. And that'll tell us that it was multiplied by 4. So to get from 392.5 to 1570, you multiply by 4. So if you double the radius, the volume quadruples would be my answer. Or the volume is multiplied by 4. Alright, number 6. To make orange juice, the directions call for a can of orange juice concentrate to be mixed with 3 cans of water. What is the volume of orange juice that you make? So I have this can of orange juice, and then I fill that up 3 times with water. So I have 4. When I find my answer, I want to multiply it by 4. Because I want this can 4 times, the volume of the can 4 times. So I'm going to do 3.14 times, the diameter is 3, so the radius is 1.5 squared, times the height of 5, which is 35.325. And I'm going to have 4 of those cans by the time that I'm done. So the volume of the orange juice is 141.3 inches cubed. If I've been doing inches cubed, I think I've been doing inches squared the whole time. Don't be like me. Do inches cubed. Alright. The last 2, I want you to go ahead and try on your own. You may want to draw a picture before you start those 2 problems. Do those 2 for homework, and have a great night.